This is an introductory video on LabArchives inventory. LabArchives inventory was built to support organization, management, and tracking of inventory items used with a lab, both lab created and vendor supplied. Inventory is designed to make it easier to manage the workflows surrounding organizing and finding inventory items, the order request process, and tracking inventory for lab managers and lab members. There are two main user roles in LabArchives inventory: lab manager and lab member. You may have as many lab managers and lab members as you wish. Both roles allow anyone to search, add items to inventory, request items, and update inventory. Lab managers have additional privileges. They can manage the data, users, and settings. They can also manage all the steps of the ordering workflow. In addition to these two roles, custom roles can also be created in LabArchives inventory. Let's take a look at the platform. There are three main components of LabArchives inventory: the inventory page, where you can search, view, and add inventory items; the orders page, where you can request items and view the status of inventory items that have been requested; and the lab management tool. Note that only users with the lab manager role or who have been given lab management privileges with a custom role can access the lab management tool. Let's start with lab management. Here, you'll notice these tabs where lab managers can set up inventory types, add storage locations, add users, create custom roles, add vendors, specify settings for the lab, and set display settings. Let's take a look at inventory types. All items in LabArchives inventory have these same standard fields listed here. If you want to add additional fields to track other information about items, you will want to use inventory types. We provide you with 9 default inventory types. Each type has its own specific fields that are unique to that type. You can customize any of these standard fields. You can edit an existing field, delete an existing field, or add a new field. You can also create your own inventory type by clicking Add New Type. You can edit, delete, or duplicate existing types, with the exception of the chemical and general inventory types. All of this is highly customizable. All the changes you make here will be available to your users within the application when adding or searching for items. More importantly, they will be available on the import template that you can download to import information from spreadsheets. This is a handy way to get started populating your inventory with existing information. The Storage tab is where you can configure all the storage locations in your lab. When you first click this tab, it will be blank. Simply click Add New Location to start building this information. Once you've added a location, you can click the pencil icon to edit and add more information. This allows you to build a hierarchical representation of your actual storage locations in the lab. If you click on the Display tab, you are able to customize the information shown on the inventory page. You can choose which columns are shown and how they are arranged. The customizations are shown in the preview and will be reflected on the inventory screen after clicking Update Display. Now let's look at the inventory screen. When you first navigate to this page, it will be empty, but you are going to see your customizations reflected over here in the filters. If you added or deleted any inventory types, those changes will be reflected here. Storage locations you set up will be reflected here. Along with the filters, you can use a simple search and advanced search to narrow down the inventory items shown. Advanced search can be used to build detailed queries leveraging your custom fields. Searches can be saved to save time. For example, checking on reagents needed for a frequently used protocol. There are two options to add inventory items. The first option is the import template. This is a handy way to get started when you want to import information in bulk. Click Import Items and follow the instructions. Remember, the customizations you made to inventory types and storage locations will be reflected in the download. Click Next to review an important set of instructions, such as you cannot make any changes to the template, no deletions, additions, or changes to column names. Click here to download the template. Once you've populated the template, drag and drop it here to upload the information. You may also want to add items individually. Just click this Add Item to Inventory button, and you'll be brought to this screen. On the left-hand side of the page, you will see the standard fields. One of the first things you should do is select the inventory type. If you added any custom types, you will see them on this list. When you select the inventory type for the item you are adding, you will see those non-standard fields that pertain to that inventory type. In addition to adding information about the item, you can set notification regarding this item's expiration date or quantity. Simply specify how far in advance you want to be notified about the expiration date, or set the quantity level that should trigger a notification, and you will receive an email and in-app notification to alert you about these. When adding an item that is the chemical inventory type, you can perform a CAS number lookup. When using this feature, a few fields such as name, chemical safety, formula, molecular weight, and SMILE structure will be filled automatically using information from the online PubChem database. Once you've added an item to inventory, it will look like this. This is where you can see all the information that has been added about this item. All the standard fields are displayed on this first tab. The Details tab will show you those non-standard fields that apply specifically to this item's inventory type. If you created custom fields for a specific type, you will see those reflected here. If you added an attachment when creating this item, you will find the attachment in this tab. You can also create a label. This label will include information about the item and a QR code. At the moment, we currently integrate with Dymo printers using a cryo label format. You can print these labels and affix them to a tube. This allows you to use a mobile device logged into inventory to scan this QR code, and you will be able to pull up information about this inventory item. If you click the History tab, you're able to see everything that's ever happened with this item. Its rich history starts from when the item was created and records all the times this item is viewed, used, or if its location is changed, and who made those changes. You can take actions on this inventory item that is pulled up. You can click Use Now to indicate usage of this item. You'll see this window where you can enter the amount you use and then click Save. Now you'll see that usage was recorded in the history and the current quantity has been updated. Our Copy to Clipboard feature lets you add a link to this item from somewhere else, such as a protocol in the ELN. If you have depleted this item or it's running low, you can click this Reorder button to request a reorder. Also, if you jump back to the inventory screen, you can also click Reorder for any item. Clicking reorder will open the order request form. Because we're reordering something we already have, most of the fields should already be populated. The requester can also select to receive status update emails whenever the status of this request is changed. They will also receive updates in-app on the notifications tool. When you click on orders, this is where the order request can be managed, or someone can request an item. I can select the requested filter to only see items that have been requested. Once an item has been requested, lab managers have the option to approve and send a note. When I click to filter approved items, this list of approved items is basically a shopping list. You can export this list and then use it to input this information in the procurement system used by your institution. Once that order has been placed, you can change the status to say that it is now ordered. You can enter how much you ordered and the information is updated. The requester can also see this information. When this item physically arrives at your lab, the items can be marked as received. You can indicate who stored it, how much is stored, and the location of this item. Whether this is a new item in your lab or replacing depleted items, this will add a brand new record into the system. As your inventory grows, you can use the filters to zero in on specific inventory items. You can filter by inventory type, location, and received date. Even if an item is depleted, there will always be a record of it. Click this Include Out of Stock filter to see any item with a quantity of 0. Our enterprise customers also have access to an admin tool where they are able to access and search through all the inventories under their site. This tool allows searching by chemical safety characters for environmental health and safety purposes. LabArchives inventory helps labs stay organized and makes it easier to keep track of items. For more information on LabArchives inventory, you can check out our extensive knowledge base or contact our support team at support@labarchives.com. To subscribe to our videos, click the LabArchives logo on the left. For additional training videos, click on the link to the right.